The new ROH logo has been revealed. Also, Keith Lee, AEW ROH plans, and we got to talk about Kota Ibushi, New Japan Pro Wrestling drama. If you guys want videos like this, you know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe. But let's talk about Keith Lee. He appeared on Mac Mania with Evan T. Mac. You guys might remember him from The Bump, WWE's show on Peacock and the internet. Flobo Boyce and Jack Farmer, they were all talking to Keith Lee about the possibility of him wrestling for ROH. And this is what he said. Considering that I have just recently joined AEW, I'm pretty committed to trying to raise the bar there in a multitude of ways. Something about more marketing or an interest in growing the name itself is kind of my goal and purpose right now. Ring of Honor is something that I haven't seen since 2017. I'd be willing to have a match there under the right circumstances. There are quite a few names that are interesting, like Mr. Samoa Joe. He's a circumstance where I would consider him to be a bit of a mentor, especially from the business side of things. Taught me a lot. For all intents and purposes, he's the reason I ever took a chance to the East Coast. If it wasn't for his advice, him and Brian Cage, I would never have gone to the East Coast. I would never have had that match with Donovan Dijak, and that kind of changed the trajectory of my career as a whole. I could have just been another dude stuck in Texas doing random stuff. There's something about those special three-letter words, those three letters, especially when you come from it and helped build who you are. I'd be open to fighting there. He says he's open to fighting there. But I would assume that more than likely he would want to stick with AEW. So that's why he says, you know, I get this because he says he wouldn't mind having a match, right? I'd be willing to have a match there under the right circumstances. Doesn't sound like a guy who wants to be in ROH. And I can't blame you, Keith Lee. I cannot blame you. But it is very interesting to see what this new direction of ROH is going to look like. Again, we're going to take a look at that new logo. And it's going to be very, very interesting. But I do want to talk a little bit about Kota Ibushi and the New Japan drama. This was happening. It was unfolding all day on Twitter. And obviously due to translations and stuff like that, it was very difficult for me to report on it without actually getting an idea of what had happened. Now, according to Voices of Wrestling, basically a representative from New Japan Pro Wrestling had pressured Kota Ibushi to come back in time for Wrestle Kingdom following his shoulder injury. And then Ibushi reportedly did not want to wrestle until his shoulder was fully healed. He reportedly told New Japan that he was good to go for the NJPW Cup and was reportedly booked to win the tournament. However, Voices of Wrestling reports basically a doctor raised concern about a minor concern, and they pulled Ibushi from the tour, which obviously made him upset. The report states that there is massive heat between Ibushi and NJPW going back several years, especially with one specific individual who reportedly, allegedly shorted him merchandise money years ago in around 2018. So yeah, Ibushi was airing it out. Now, here's the thing. Especially when it comes to talent like Kota Ibushi, incredible talent. We saw him in WWE's Cruiserweight Classic. We've seen him mix it up with a lot of people in America. And I think deep down inside, this relationship with New Japan, if it does not get resolved, ultimately means that Kota Ibushi could very well make his way to America. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be WWE, but he did appear in the Cruiserweight Classic. That was something that a lot of people did not expect, and often people forget about it. Secondly, AEW is a viable option, especially with guys like Kenny Omega, right? I think it can make a lot of sense. Obviously, Kota Ibushi staying with AEW or WWE would be very, 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 very massive when it comes to bringing over talent, because Shinsuke Nakamura coming to WWE was a very, very big deal as well. I think some people forget about how big of a deal that was. But now, as time has gone by, Shinsuke Nakamura is just another guy on the WWE roster. Don't get me wrong, he's had his good moments on WWE, and right now he's not getting his ass beat. He's not damaging his body. So maybe Shinsuke is happy in WWE. I don't want to speculate on that. But I feel like this would be bigger than Shinsuke Nakamura coming to WWE. So it doesn't matter what company he goes to. If NJPW can't seem to get this figured out, if they can't make him happy, if there's drama there, if it doesn't get resolved, AEW and WWE could very well be the options. And with that being said, guys, I want to take a look at the new ROH branding. But hey, this may not be the final logo. This logo is the new logo that is floating around, and basically ROH Acquisition Company LLC is based out of AEW headquarters at 1 TIAA Field in Jacksonville Jaguars territory, right? The description of both trademarks read as the following: entertainment services in the nature of live wrestling performances, entertainment services in the nature of production of television shows and multimedia entertainment content, featuring wrestling programs and events entertainment services, namely an ongoing multimedia program featuring wrestling distributed via various platforms across multiple forms of transmission media. So this is the logo that was trademarked. Now, if you remember, back when AEW's original logos were trademarked, the All Out logo, Double or Nothing, the AEW logo, the logos don't always mean they're final. Maybe there's a color change, maybe there's a graphical change, but this is the first logo that's been trademarked. And I kind of like it. I imagine, though, the final version of this would be like a 3D outline with silver and red, black, you know, obviously with color. But this could give you an idea of maybe the direction Tony Khan is headed with the ROH logo. And with that being said, too, remember, some logos don't even get used. We talked about it on this channel, the Paragon logo. That was the rumor for Adam Cole and Red Dragon, was that they were going to be called Paragon. And that logo that was trademarked never even got used. Now they're referred to as the Undisputed Elite, and their whole branding is different from that. So sometimes logos that get trademarked don't even get used, but this is the first time that we're even seeing a glimpse of the new look of ROH. So definitely something more modernized, very simple. You know, it could be a different logo entirely, but I would say more than likely this logo is going to be very similar to this, maybe 3D, maybe some colors. You know, maybe that's a championship belt underneath the ROH or behind the ROH thing. Like, there's a variety of ways for them to deal with this, but it's going to be really interesting to see what it looks like. You know, I want to know from you guys what you guys think. I'm all about it. I think it's about time we start getting an idea of what's happening with ROH. And this is a step in the right direction. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoy this video, let me know. And I'll see you next time.